Hi, my name is Andrew. Thank you for visiting my YouTube channel. And this video is a focus on USA seed capital investors, and it is part of a video series that I will be having in the next few weeks on company profiles of over 570 seed capital investors in the USA. So if you're looking to do fundraising for the first time, this is a great resource for you. A bit of information about myself. I'm a fundraising strategist with 15 years of experience in high-end real estate sales and marketing, spanning Canada, Dubai, and the Caribbean. And over the past 2 years on Fiverr, I've assisted over 200 clients with startup fundraising, pitch deck refinement, investor outreach strategies, and custom investor databases. In addition, I'm an advisor to a New York-based investment company affiliated with a $60 billion fund. The fund focuses on various sectors, particularly income-producing real estate, with capital requirements for projects typically ranging from $10 to $20 million. These projects are selected based on their cash flow and growth potential, and you get more information about my service by clicking my Fiverr link below. This video highlights Alpine Meridian Ventures in New York, and they are one of 570 seed capital angel groups in my exclusive fundraising database to help you raise capital for your startup. Company snapshot: they're based in New York and they're classified as an investment company and a venture capital firm. Their sectors include technology, digital media, and e-commerce. And the distinct benefit for startups: they're best for startups seeking a venture partner with a broad industry focus, offering strategic guidance and funding. Company focus: investor approach and strategy. Alpine Meridian, based in New York, leverages its extensive industry relationships and 30 years of experience to focus on the internet, digital media, financial services, data, software, and e-commerce sectors. Strategic investments: Alpine Meridian invests in early-stage companies within its targeted sectors, providing capital and structuring business development partnerships for a portfolio company's growth. Their investment focus: targeted sectors. Alpine Meridian strategically invests in the internet, digital media, financial service, and e-commerce sectors, capitalizing on its industry specialization. Client collaboration: collaborating with major corporations and early-stage tech companies, Alpine Meridian contributes to digital strategy development, growth, and profitability. Team expertise: client advisory. Alpine Meridian's team offers financial advisory services, optimizing investment capital from venture capital firms and strategic corporate investors. Strategic partnerships: the team works closely with clients to identify and structure marketing partnerships, contributing to overall business success and growth. And here are some of their previous investments. One of the key benefits of my database is that it includes tips for investor outreach. There's no other database that is like this. That's what makes it really unique. And I specifically created this for people who are initiating their first time in fundraising. The key issue regarding financing or getting funds is a lot of companies leave it too late. And too late is usually when they need the funds, when they should start their initiating their outreach well before they need the funds. So shortly after the company's up and running and maybe you've made a milestone or just secured a large contract, that's a great time for you to start reaching out to potential venture capital groups or angel groups in specific, and this database has quite a large amount of them. And this allows you to build up a history of contact with that group, and it allows you to tell your story, and they'll be willing to listen to it. Remember, you're not going to be sending this to chairmen or CEOs. You're probably going to be sending it to their info at or their admin at address, or maybe it's a contact form on their website if they don't have their email address, because really what you just want to do is make contact. And the reason being is people change in these firms over time, and you want to have a chain of contacts at each one. So you're really making warm contact, and you're not sending a presentation, you're not sending your pitch deck. This is basically just introducing yourself, your company, and also pointing out that you're in the same space that they work in. And this is really, really important. So I've helped you, and you're going to see the spreadsheet coming up shortly, where I have these points for all 570 firms. I have two. One is a outreach touch point if you know the contact, or in other words, if you know who they are or have their email address. And the other one is unknown contact, and that's where you're trying to fish for more information on who would be the contact. But not to worry, even if you send it to that first person and they're not the contact, if it's professionally written, the odds are that they're going to fire you back in emails giving you the right person, or they're going to send it to the right person. The average venture capital and angel group firm receives between 50 and 100 emails a day, and a lot of times people make the mistake of sending their pitch deck. That's not what they want in the first stage. So here's how you would do it in this case. The key outreach touch points, if you know who the contact is, could be Alpine Meridian Ventures is known for its strategic investments in forward-thinking startups. We are keen to explore how our new venture aligns with your investment goals. So you notice that would probably be about the second sentence in your email. Your first one is going to say, hi, I'm so-and-so. I'm the CEO of ABC Company, and we're in the same sector that you've been investing in. And then the last line would be interested in knowing who the contact is and how we could initiate a discussion. So again, soft approach, no attachments, nothing like that. If they want to know more about you, you're obviously going to have your website on the bottom. So if they're curious, they can always go in that route. Now, if you do not know who the contact, and many venture capital and angel groups actually do not list emails on their website. A lot of times they have their contacts that you can reach out to via LinkedIn. So now you have a choice of connecting with them via LinkedIn. Some people aren't comfortable doing that. Or you can write an email to the info at, or if you have the HR contact, or if you have any other contact. And it could be subject heading, aligning our vision with Alpine Meridian, seeking investment synergies. And your key initial email approach line may include, our venture aligns with Alpine Meridian's vision. Can you direct us to the right contact who evaluates opportunities matching your investment criteria for further discussions? Again, no pitch deck, no presentation. You're just asking them for advice on who to contact. There's an old adage in the fundraising business, and it says if you're asking for money, you're going to get advice. But if you go in asking for advice, it will lead you to the money. And that's something that you really, really want to understand. Now, this approach allows you to build up a history of contact with venture capital firms and angel groups over the growth of your company. Because there's a very good chance that the people that you're going to be contacting in the early stages are not the people that are going to be there at the end. But not to worry. Hopefully what you'll do is you'll move up the ladder on an organizational level with that company as you move on. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's many people at the associate level and director level who are there to evaluate investment opportunities. And if it's a big venture capital firm or a big angel group, they might have 10 or 15 of these people. So you want to just keep collecting more names for your database. And the database is meant to build, and it's a work in progress. Nobody has a magic database that says, here's everybody, here's 500 people who are ready to receive your pitch deck. That's not how it works. It's people change in these firms over time, and you want to have a chain of contacts at each one. Now, what this does is it prepares you for a more efficient fundraising campaign when the time is right. And that's the best strategy for you to prepare for the most important phase of your fundraising, and that's when your firm really needs the funds. This is the type of seed capital angel group you can find in my exclusive guide. I created this exclusive database to help founders reach out to seed and angel investors with confidence. There is no other resource like it, period. So let's take a look at the database. So now we're over on the database section. So this is the seed capital and angel group investor database. And as you can see on the top here, it has 570 contacts. And total investments for this group is over 37,000 in the past few years. This is the best source of seed capital that you're going to find, and this was handpicked for me from my database of over 400,000 contacts. So this is not a database that you can scrape off the internet because they have all been verified. These are all companies that deal in seed capital, so you can be sure that if that is the type of funds that you're looking for, this is the great source for you, not only in the very beginning of your company stages, but as you move along the line. The purpose of this database is to actually use as a contact for when you first get your company ready and rolling, and you can say to them, I am a founder in the tech space or whatever space you're in, and you want to make initial contacts in the very beginning. So that's the beauty of this type of list. If you're thinking about fundraising, you should not think about sending out your outreach emails when you're looking for the funds. You should be thinking about that 1-2 years beforehand, where you start to make contacts with these key groups, because that's the best way for you to build at least a connection with not only the one member, could be multiple members of the team. And keep in mind that the people in the teams will always change over time unless they're the founders and the principals. So let's just take a quick look at this here. So you're going to get the company names, you're going to get the cities, and again, this is a USA list. These are all either venture capital or angel groups. And there could be some family investment offices, but they're really focused on micro venture capital, and angel groups, because those are the ones that look at allocating funds for startups, and you can usually look at anywhere from around $100,000 to around $500,000, sometimes up to $1 million for these type of groups. And that's why they have been collected in this particular database, because it doesn't make sense for you to start to look at databases that have growth capital. In other words, people that firms that are looking to finance you in your third or fourth raise, or databases that have private equity that aren't going to lend to a startup. So that's why I've spent over 150 hours minimum working on this database. In fact, I've been working on this database for a few years, but it was just finally some interest in clients where to connect both angel groups and venture capital groups that are seed capital. What's an angel group? Very simple. If you're looking to approach angel investors, the easiest way is to actually do it by contacting angel groups. An angel group is a firm that is founded and has sometimes 50, 100, 200, maybe even more individual angel investors as part of that group. And what it does, it helps them organize potential investment opportunities that come across their desk, so that they can present it to the group as a whole or to individuals that may be in that group. So in other words, this particular database has thousands and thousands and thousands of individual angel investors, but you do not have to contact them one by one. You can do that by simply going into the groups that are composed of angel investors. This database is also very unique because in some cases I've already identified key contacts for you. Now the reason I have not done this for all the contacts is very simple. Throughout the life of your group and even through your contacts when you're doing your fundraising, you're going to approach different people. For example, if it's a principal or a founder, those are great contacts if you're ready to start raising funds. But if you're just starting out your group, you may want to look at approaching associates or whoever might be that first contact, and that helps you build your contact within that group up as your company grows. And it's really, really important, because then you never have to be in a scenario where you're looking at firms that only are looking at warm introductions. Most of these, and in fact, over 95% of them, you do not need to have a previous contact with someone. So what have I done to include? And another key thing is they all are either going to have their company emails, in other words, info at, contact at, or you will submit your information on a forum on their website. It's very common for venture capital and angel groups, instead of having an email address, to have a forum where you'll submit your information. You do not have to submit your pitch deck. In fact, in the very beginning of your approach to companies, I would suggest you not using a pitch deck. You could use bullet points or an executive summary, but leave the pitch deck for when you're looking to start to raise funds. So what makes this database unique is I've included the key outreach touch points. In other words, if you have a direct contact that you've known, then there's some key words here that you can use in your particular letter. And that really kind of helps you get started. In other words, I'm not writing the letters for you. I do have that service on Fiverr if you're interested. But for example, this one here says, Helios Capital is recognized for its strategic investments in diverse sectors. Let's discuss the potential synergies between our new venture and your investment approach. So that's a good line to put in as what I would call a second sentence in your letter. So I've done that for all 570. I've added some key points about their group so that you actually make it look like it's customized. You should not spam these type of venture capital and angel groups with your message, because it won't work. They get hundreds and hundreds of emails a day, and yes, that means hundreds and hundreds of potential people who are looking to raise funds, and it's best that you go in with an approach where it's customized. So that's really, really important, and that's why I've devised this database. There is no other database like this on the market, no one else, and there's many firms and high profile companies that allow you access to databases. In other words, you've got to pay a subscription. You might be allowed to contact 100 firms in a month. This is more refined. In other words, I've done the heavy lifting for you. I've devoted the hours so that you don't have to do it. So the second part of this is, because you are going to use this database in the very beginning and early days, you're going to want to be able to contact somebody in the very early stages, and you may not know them. The reason you may not know them is because in some cases venture capital firms will list their employees and their LinkedIn addresses. Okay, so that's really key, but in some cases you won't. So I actually suggest, and I've already done the work for you, is that you send them a letter seeking information on who might be a good contact. For example, this one here, the subject is inquiry regarding investment opportunities, seeking the right contact. So that will be the body of your email. And then I have added what's called the second sentence, and it says, as we explore potential investment avenues, we believe our venture aligns with Pipeline Ventures investment criteria. Could you assist us in identifying the appropriate contact for further discussions? Now, the reason I've put that type of strategy in here is, if you send this to info at, or if you send this to admin, they're going to pass it. They're going to do two things. They're going to probably pass it on to the appropriate party, or they're going to send you back a polite message saying, yes, you can contact so-and-so with your opportunity. They'll do that because that's their job. That's what they're there for. I've really made that clear. I have other investor databases. For example, I just created one for the Middle East where I have almost all the HR contacts. So in that way, an HR contact is never going to delete an email like that, because that's not their job. Their job is to facilitate these type of introductions and making sure they get to the right person. So the beauty of this is, if it's a venture capital or angel group firm, let's say they've got a founder, a couple principals, they may have 3 or 4 associates or people who analyze investments. That's who this particular contact is going to be made with, and it's great because that's who you want your initial contact with. You want to be able to make that initial contact with somebody at a lower level, introducing yourself, and maybe arranging a meeting or a Zoom call to see how you can align your company with them for when it comes down to the point where you're going to do fundraising. People should think about that when they're doing their fundraising, is treat it like a business development exercise. So that is the database of venture capital, seed venture capital, and angel groups in the USA for the initial stages of your fundraising. My master database has over 400,000 verified global contacts. That includes angel investors, family investment offices, pension funds, hedge funds, private equity databases, REITs, premium high net worth and ultra high net worth Middle East investors database, venture capital lists and investment banks. I also help clients with pitch deck reviews and corporate fundraising presentations. If you're getting ready to send your presentation out to investors, send it to me. I will take a look at it. Approximately 80% of the presentations I see are not suitable to be sent out to investors. I have a service on Fiverr that will help fix that. Just click my Fiverr link below for more information. For more information on my databases and fundraising services, click my Fiverr link below. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe.